Hello, the Pokemon Fan 993 here, back with more Pokemon TCG Live. So, today I'm just going to show you guys the deck that I recently made. This deck is basically just a deck I threw together for electric because I'm really not good at, like, creating, like, I have to go through a bunch of shit to create, like, a real, like, a solid, like, people use fusion start to use a bunch of different things. It seems like it's more popular just to throw some cards together and hope they stick. So, you're going to see I'm just going to go through all my cards here real quick. Want to pause the video? You can pause the video to keep an eye on the stuff. What I'm getting to at. Then we have the trainer cards here. And then of course we have the energy, which is just 18 of these and 2 of these. So I was trying to work on another deck to use. However, TCG Live is not currently really doing a lot for me. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I'm looking for a Nidoqueen. Okay, there's only like 2 or 3 sets of Nidoqueen activities in, and I was trying to get this one. So I go to the card guard. We're going to see that Nidoqueen is down here in the, I believe it's in the psychic section or the dark section. Somewhere around here. I just haven't looked it up lately, but go to trying to go find this right here. The reason I want a Nidoqueen in the first place is because I want to do it so I can use the credits up here to get more Nidoqueen. And I'm going to show you the reason why I'm going to I was trying to make a try to get Nidoqueen. So I'm going to type in Nidoking here. And this is what I was talking about, is that this Nidoking, low HP and everything, but its ability, if I have Nidoking on my bench, I can ignore energy in this attacks by this Pokemon. So I can use Venomous Impact, which normally costs 2 Dark Energy and 2 of any energy to do 190 damage and points in the target. So I thought if I could have some of that, have Nidoqueen, I thought I'd be able to make a deck like evolved around them, which would be an interesting deck. But unfortunately, I just can't seem to get the grasp on getting a Nidoqueen. Now, I understand if the game just doesn't like me. You're going to see that up here. I spent almost every gem I have trying to get that working. So, and obviously I didn't get it. So, instead of using my electric deck that I made, I want to make a different deck because I've been using my grass and my water deck for what feels like eons now. Which I don't think is actually true, but it definitely feels like it. And I'm probably have to check my daily stuff after I complete this match, because I totally forgot to actually check it. I'm talking too much about the deck I want to make and the deck I'm currently using. But essentially, this deck, my main focus of this deck is to basically attach energy cards to my Pokemon, and then basically just deal damage depending on the amount of energy cards I've attached. And Manazone EX is probably the start of my deck, although Bolton, V and V Max, and Ampharos aren't too far behind. Okay, the opponent was deciding who goes first, so it might be a straight up forfeit because I didn't think like the opponent's doing anything. Okay, opponents will go first. That's fine. So let's get a deck he had. Okay, so I managed to get at least something to use. Actually, this is a really good hand. So we're going to put Bolton V in the active spot. Hit done, see what he does. And yes, I can't, there's no, oh, there is a profile picture, but I can't tell from this angle. I didn't even know what it was. It might be a girl, might be a guy. I don't know. I wasn't really paying that much of attention. I can't really tell by the name either because the name's kind of ambiguous. We're going to see what else he does here. So Neighbors had the mulligan, so we'll start with our starting hand of 6 or whatever. Okay, so he has Monkey Dory. If any Pokemon, you can put 3 damage over your Pokemon. That's actually kind of broken. He's going to play Nest Ball, which actually had one in my hand that's going to let him put a basic Pokemon onto his bench, which is Bidoof. Ends his turn, okay. So actually, I grew a really better card here. So I'm going to use Nest Ball. This is going to let me put Magnemite on my bench. I'm going to put 1 energy on... hang on before I do that. Let me put Electric Generator. So I'm able to get 2 energies, which I wanted. I'm allowed to attach those directly to Magnemite. Perfect. And now I'm going to use 1 energy on Bolton. Use Electrify. This allows me to select for 2 other energies attached to my Pokemon anyway I like. So I'm going to attach them to this Magnemite. The reason I'm attaching to the Magnemite at all is because of Bolt Storm. Because the more energy I have on the field, the more damage it does the opponent. So there's a chance here he goes for his attack, which is going to confuse me, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's the end of the game. Full Metal Lab, what does that do? Steel Pokemon will take away 3 less damage. Okay. Interesting, he's using a steel. He hasn't shown a single. Excuse me while I pop this soda. He doesn't have an energy to attach. That's interesting. Well, this might be really quick actually. So I'm not in danger of losing anything. I was going to use a Rare Cane to go straight from Magneton to Magnezone EX, but I don't think I have to do that. So I'm going to evolve Magnemite into Magneton, put a Meta Magnemite on my bench. I'm going to attach an energy to Boltund, and I'm going to go for Bolt Storm, which does 190 damage, which immediately knocks out that Munkidori. So that might have been bad if that wasn't the first card he got. That might actually be bad. And I'm not going to lie, considering the way his bench was, he might forfeit here, or she might forfeit here. I'm just trying to figure out why he has Full Metal Lab when he hasn't played a single Steel Pokemon yet. Unless the person just has no idea what he was doing, which is a possibility as well. I'm not playing ranked or anything. It was a guy, okay. Well, from my understanding it was. Alright. That's done. Let's have a look at the Battle Pass here. Wow. I got that done really quick. Well, I don't think one battle constitutes a video, so I'm going to do at least one more battle to constitute it being a decent video. So we're going to collect this stuff. We're going to collect the sandals, the coins, and the Shrouded Fable pack. So we'll look through this here. We got Joltik, Meowth, Cassiopeia, Dartrix, Cuffant, and a Zoroark. So nothing too crazy there. Everything I had less than 4 of, so nothing goes in my inventory as a duplicate. Well, what I mean is it doesn't go into credit as duplicate because I have less than 4 of them. All right, so we're gonna run another match. I'm gonna see who we're fighting this time. Okay, Samson. So let's gonna see what his set is here. Well, essentially, so let's stay hydrated. He has a ambiguous deck box, and he has a Sceptile coin. So it's really hard to tell right off rip what he's going to be using, if he uses one type at all. Okay, he's flipped it for heads, so now I think he gets to choose. I'm actually going to choose yes to go first, because I think that works better with this deck than going second would. Let's see what my hand looks like. And it could be better. But I do have Nest Ball and Magnezone EX again, so this might not be too bad. Let's see what he starts with. He started with Orchuru EX. Once per turn, before attack is knocked out during your opponent's last 3, you may draw 3 cards. Okay, so it's kind of an interesting card. So we're going to play Nest Ball. It's going to let me put a Magnemite on my bench. Actually, let's put Miraidon EX on the bench. That was a search deck for 2. Once per turn, we could put 2 Pokemon from our deck onto our bench as long as they're basic. So if I do it this way, I can get more Pokemon on the bench. So I'm going to put Raikou and Magnemite on the bench. And then I'm going to put 1 energy on Magnemite, and I'm going to end my turn. Normally I put 1 on Mary, but I only have 2 energy cards at the moment, so... The good news, I do have Jacques in my hand as well, which lets me basically search my deck for evolution Pokemon. Janine wants to search the top 4 of your cards. You put 2 in your hand, you put the other 2 in the bottom of the deck. Buddy Poffin. Search deck for 2 base Pokemon with 70 HP or less, put them on your bench. I don't think he's... I think he might be an AI. He's moving really fast through his turns. Definitely has a very interesting mixed deck. I'm not sure if it's going to be good for him or not, but it's interesting if nothing else. Alright, so now we're going to play Jacques. So it allows me to search my deck for Flaffy. I actually don't have Ampharos, so it must be in my extra deck. I'm going to search for Dragzol EX. So now I'm going to play Miraidon EX again to add Dragzol and Boltund to my bench. I'm going to put 1 energy on Magnemite. I'm going to evolve Miraidon into Flaffy. And I'm going to put energy to immediately evolve my Magnemite into Magnezone EX. And then I'm going to end my turn. So at current, I do not know what this guy's strategy is. I'm guessing he's playing Janine again to search his deck for cards. So let's see what else he does here. Evolution Incense. Add Cocoon to his hand. So he's going for a Beedrill. Something Beedrill-ish. What's his ability? Oh, damage. Okay. Damage is not an effect. So I can't poison it. It won't cause any damage. Or I can't burn it because it won't cause any damage. Twin Energy. He's going to use it to immediately retreat to Manaphy, which is interesting. Switch to a Water type. That's kind of silly. So now I'm going to evolve Dragozolt into Dragozolt VMAX. And put 1 energy on Dragozolt and end my turn. At current, I can do nothing with Flaffy because Flaffy needs 2 energy to retreat, and I have no way to attach that much energy to Flaffy. But I'll go over what I'm working on here. So Energy Crush does 50 damage for each energy attached to all my opponent's Pokemon. 330 HP. Pulse Water does 220, but does 30 damage to itself. Swap. Nadarnita would do a bunch of damage. But he has cards in his hand. Net Stash. Draw a card. I see what he's doing. He's make it so Paralyze and Poison, which will knock me out. I'll give him that. But unfortunately, Nadarnita really doesn't work that well. He would have been better off using Pierce. Actually, he couldn't even use Pierce. So I'm going to send out Manazone EX, and I think this is essentially over. I could be wrong, but draw until they have 4 cards in their hand. So it's my turn now. I draw another Magnezone, which isn't actually going to help me. What's this? Put a card from the hand on top of their deck. Must be to make sure he has no cards in his hand, so it gives you Nadarneedle. Which actually isn't that bad of a strategy. So now we're going to use Tandemute to add another Magnezone to the bench. I really can't do anything else other than that. So we're going to go for Energy Crush. That's going to knock out that Beedrill. I see what his strategy is here. It's not a bad strategy, but if you manage to swap your Pokemon out, it negates that entire stats effect debuff. Another energy card, I can use that. So is he going to evolve immediately using Rare Candy? No, Rescue Carrier, 2 Pokemon, okay. So he's doing it to refresh his hand, but it makes no sense because he's trying to run Beedrill. You have to have no cards in your hand in order to use that. So adding more cards to his hand would actually just be a more detriment. Same deal here. He's going to add 2 more cards to his hand. Unless he plays a card to let him discard his entire hand, which I don't think there's any card in this game that actually lets you do that. Rescue Stretcher. It's an interesting deck, but the problem with that is that the deck is so damn random. Oh, he's doing this again, so he can't use Nadarneedle. Alright. Academy at Night. That's his whole strategy, is just spam that, huh? Does it paralyze you? Paralyzed and poisoned, yeah. So you can basically just spam that if you wanted to. However, I'm going to find a way around that. Probably within this next turn here. So I'm going to attach another energy to Magnezone. I don't want to do this, but I have to... Wait, I can't even do anything while it's... So he's just going to keep doing it over and over again so I can't do anything. That's his entire strategy. Which I gotta say is pretty damn stupid. So I'm gonna have to give him a dislike, because this is just constantly paralyzing someone so they can't even do a fucking thing. It's actually really, really like a very nasty strategy. Like, I think I would prefer a Fusion EX deck in comparison to that kind of deck. I don't like it when you don't give your opponent any time to do anything. It just seems like... You know what it seems like to me? It seems like you'd be better off playing Yu-Gi-Oh! For those who don't know, Yu-Gi-Oh! has hit a major rocky road within the last few years, and basically the top players dropping off that TCG, and essentially they're saying that what they get for tournament prizes is not enough to sustain how they get to said tournament. For example, if I remember what they said right, it was they get Nintendo Switch and like 2 masks that are like for $5 maybe $10 a piece. So even if you manage to, sorry, that was my phone. If you manage to win the championship, you still have to pay money to go back to where you came from. Because a Switch sells for maybe $300 now. Then that was the retail price. So you're probably going to get maybe $350 out of everything you got if you sell everything. Which, for those who don't know, I think an average plane ticket, depending on where you go, could be $300 to $500. I don't know. I've never actually air traveled before. So I'm not really sure on that's actually, oh god. Alright, so this is a Lost Zone deck, which means I'm not actually going to let you guys sit through this, because it means he's going to take 5 minutes every single turn. it's not worth it. I'm not going to make you guys go through that, and I'm not going to go through that myself. So I'm just going to ignore that one. I'm also not going to put in the title card either, because there's no point if I wasn't even playing that game. So we're going to try one more time. If we can't get a actual match out of this, then I'll just end the video right there. This guy's different. He has a fighting deck, which actually could be bad for us. That's assuming that's actually a fighting deck. Because each card type has a weakness. Each Pokemon type has a weakness. Most of them do. And basically, if they do that, it does double damage. It's almost like it is in... Yeah, it actually is just like it is in the original Pokemon games. Ground does 2 times damage to Steel, vice versa. So I'm actually going to select to go first. I'm going to see what kind of deck he's got. I'm not looking at the Charizard coin. It's most likely a Charizard deck. I don't know why I said dex. Let's see what he goes for here. I can't do anything. I got a bum hand. So I got to reshuffle my hand in my deck. Mulligan once. It's not terrible. Put Bolton up front and put Mirror down on the bench. Done. All right, see what his deck is. Picking a number, he's allowed to draw 1 additional card because I had a mulligan once. So let's see what his deck is. I think I've seen this deck before, actually. I'm really hoping it's not the one I'm thinking of, but it could very well be. Play Tandem Unit to add Dragazult and Zekrom to my bench. Zekrom and Pikachu are just randomly in my deck because I needed something to run them with. So, how should I run this now? We will put 1 energy on Bolton and end our turn. I can't do anything on my first turn anyway in terms of attacking. So, if this is what I think it is, I'm gonna quit because there's no point of subjecting anyone to this shit. So basically, if I remember right, there is a thing you can give. You can evolve Silk Cobra into that basically makes it so basically you do so much damage a turn that's almost unfair. Which, yeah, you can do that with almost any card. For example, I could do an X amount of damage, but the fact that how long it takes you to set it up, it's almost like a... See, how do I say this? There's no OTK decks in Pokemon, but there are some that seem like they are. OTK means 1 turn kill, which means you can never beat someone in 1 turn in Pokemon unless they only have 1 Pokemon in active play, but not a consistent OTK deck. But in Yu-Gi-Oh, you can do this almost instantly. All right, so he's going to add 3 supporter cards to his hand. I'm going to see what else he's going to do here. He's probably going to use Strike and Run to add 3 base Pokemon on my bench and shuffle my deck. So if he puts 3, so this might be a problem. He's going to swap out to somebody else. Oh, you don't have to. That's kind of stupid, actually. All right, so it's my turn. I'm going to play Avery. That's going to force me to get rid of 1 Silk Cobra. So that's not as big a deal as it was before. Assuming that he knows even what the card does, even though you can't see what it does. Okay. Now I'm going to play Miraidon again to put a Magneton, or a Magnemite, and I'll put Iron Hands as the last one. And then I'm going to play Master Ball. So lets me search my deck for any kind of Pokemon that I want and add it to my hand. I'm going to evolve Bolton and Bolton VMAX. Normally I wouldn't do it this early, but I got to make sure that I get as quick as advantage as I possibly can. So I go for Bolt Storm. That does 90 damage, which is enough to knock out his Dunsparce. Lets me choose 1 more prize card, or 1 prize card. Let's select that one, and I get Raikou. So let's see what he does here. What does this do? Oh, this could be annoying just because so I think this is the one that I'm thinking it is. Yeah, so this is the one I'm thinking of. Basically, his deck is filled with energy cards. So now he's basically going to use Big Sea Cannon every single turn to deal as much damage as possible. Then the rest of his deck is going to be just him recycling energy cards. So yeah, it's a cheap way to win. But I guess it's effective, if nothing else. I will say it's heavily more annoying because of the because of how long it takes him to add those cards to his hand. One stage 3. So now he's going to evolve all the other Silicorbos now. I'm going to use Big C Candy. He's going to do like 700 points of damage because I can't do anything about that. Yeah, see, there's nothing I can do now because, one, I'm at a huge disadvantage, and that attack right there is just way too much. So I guess that's it. I guess I did 2 matches because I'm not... Yeah, make me do it after I surrender. And I'm going to say this right now, the cockiness in this pose should not be in this game. It's more rubbing in the face, and you should be able to skip it if you want to skip it, instead of making it so you have to watch it. So I think that was 2 matches I'd done. Actually, technically it was 5, and I won 1, and all the other ones were either really weird and barely worked, or were just way too effective. I will say, though, that last deck that I fought, if I wasn't using an electric deck, I could have easily put him down, because if it did 360, it means that it only did 180 damage normally, so I'd have to do it. But then again, he had the other Pokemon on his bench already, so it wouldn't damn matter. See, my issue with just decks in general, I guess, is the reason I don't look up is because I'm not creative enough. For example, I could just take this deck and run with it. This is a basic Charizard EX deck, or basic Charizard EX deck. And they give this to you for free, by the way, even though it's one of the most overpowered and overused decks in the entire game. So anyway, that's enough of my ranting. That's going to do it for this video. Thank everyone for watching. If you want to see more, like, comment, and subscribe and get some more videos out. This is the Pokemon Fan 1993 signing off. I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.